I woke up in a hospital bed. Supposed to be on my way home from shopping. Why? Where am I? The nurse explained to me what happened. Apparently, I was rear-ended by a car and urgently transported to the hospital. Then my husband, who rushed to the hospital, blurted out, "Why are you still lying on the bed? Let's go home. Get discharged now and make my dinner. If you can't fulfill your wife's duties, I'll divorce you." What? I couldn't believe what I just heard. Who says that to their bandaged up wife? Unbelievable. I lost all my feelings for my husband, who didn't seem to care about me at all. Understood. Then I started preparing to leave my husband. My husband was certain I, a housewife, couldn't possibly divorce him. Little did he know he'd be the one struggling if I brought up divorce. My name is Lisa. I became a housewife after marrying my husband Daniel. It was Daniel's wish that I became a housewife. I never disliked my job, and all my hard work had started paying off, putting me in an important position. There were even talks of a promotion and the next personnel reshuffle. But when I told Daniel about the promotion, he immediately said, "I want you to become a housewife after we get married. We can get by on my salary if we save. I want you to take care of the house." Overwhelmed by Daniel's passion, I quit my job. My coworkers and bosses were disappointed, but it was also important for me to live in the same direction as a couple. As soon as I quit my job, Daniel started to insist, "I'm superior because I'm the breadwinner in this household. You won't be able to live without me. Remember that." Looking back, Daniel probably insisted on me quitting because he was troubled by the prospect of me earning more than him after the promotion that I was supposed to get. Despite this, I devoted myself to supporting Daniel's work and making the house comfortable for him. I took care of the nutritional balance of our meals, researching easy-to-eat menus, while considering Daniel's work schedule. I also made sure to do the cleaning and laundry perfectly, so that Daniel, who came home tired, could spend time comfortably. Yet it seemed like Daniel just couldn't resist complaining about my work. "Hey, tonight's dinner was a bit bland." I explained my reason to my husband, who complained. "You've had a lot of late-night work parties lately, right? I thought your stomach might be tired, so I made it a mild flavor. I should have added a good amount of broth, though." Is that so?" Despite his complaints, Daniel gradually stopped grumbling because I would refute him. Over time, he started to come home later and later. He began to come home every night, smelling like women's perfume. "Hey, you seem to have been working late a lot lately. Is work getting busy?" In response to my question, he replied, "Yeah," looking annoyed. "You've also been drinking more often before coming home. How's your health? Are you okay?" Thinking that taking care of my husband's health is also part of a wife's role, I couldn't help but ask various questions. Daniel responded to me in an irritated manner. "Enough already. I have a lot going on at work. What exactly are you doing during the day?" "What do you mean by what? Various housework." "That's why I'm asking you to be specific." My husband started to ask for a detailed schedule of what I was doing when he wasn't home. "Hey, what are you going to do today?" "I plan to do the laundry and cleaning in the morning and go grocery shopping in the afternoon." "When are you going to be back from shopping?" "I can't say for sure. Maybe around 4 o'clock?" "Okay, got it. Don't be later than 4. I'm going to call home to check on you." "Why would you do that?" "To make sure you're not slacking off on your housework." Daniel started to manage my schedule down to the hour. That day, my shopping took longer than expected, and I was rushing home on my bicycle. It was already past 4 o'clock. I need to hurry back home, or Daniel will get mad at me again. In my hurry, I didn't notice the car approaching from behind. The next moment, I felt an impact on my back. Before I knew it, I found myself lying in a hospital bed. Attempting to sit up, I felt pain throughout my body. A nurse, noticing my consciousness, hastily called for a doctor. "Oh, you're awake. You were hit by a car from behind," the doctor explained. According to him, I was rear-ended by a car when I was riding my bike, fainted unconscious from the impact, and an ambulance took me to the hospital. Fortunately, there was no bleeding, I didn't hit my head, and I only got full-body bruises. Though my body was in pain, there were no fractures that could lead to lasting damage, and I was told I could be discharged in a few weeks. Relieved, I checked my phone and saw a slew of missed calls from Daniel. Oh, I need to call Daniel. He must be worried sick. Hearing my muttering, the nurse quickly said, I've already notified your husband. Unfortunately, he couldn't pick up the call, so I left a message on his voicemail. I might have made him worry, though. Your wife was in a car accident and has been urgently transported to our hospital. That's what the nurse had left in her voicemail. I thanked the nurse and quickly called my husband. Hey Daniel, it's me. Lisa, what the hell are you doing not coming home? Didn't you listen to the voicemail? There was a message saying I'm in the hospital. I did listen to the voicemail. You're awake now, right? So you can come home, can't you? That's not possible. I was in a car accident. I'll be staying in the hospital for a few weeks. You're being hospitalized? What? It seemed Daniel had assumed that my injuries weren't serious. Upon hearing about my hospitalization, he said, I'm coming right now, and hung up. An hour later, Daniel burst into my room. Lisa! Just as I felt relieved at seeing my husband, his next words left me frozen. How long are you going to lie there? Let's go home. What? Go home? What on earth are you saying? I couldn't hide my confusion as I responded to my husband. I can't go home on the day of the accident. Just because it was an accident doesn't mean you're knocking on death's door. You're able to talk like this, so you're fine. Discharge yourself immediately and make my dinner. Can't you see these bandages? How do you expect me to cook in this state? You're overreacting with this hospital stay. I bet if I hadn't come to fetch you, you'd just be lazy laying on the bed. Here I am, worn out from work, and you won't even cook dinner. That's unacceptable as a wife. Look, the hospital says I need to stay for a few weeks. It's not about being lazy, it's about getting necessary treatment. Use any excuse you want, but if you think I'll let you off the hook for housework, you're wrong. If this isn't working for you, I'm okay with getting a divorce. That's ridiculous. I can't possibly do housework in this state. Well then, divorce it is. Daniel seemed to care more about having his housework done than the fact I'd been in a car accident. I felt I'm falling out of love with him quickly. Having discovered his true feelings, I made up my mind on the spot. All right. Hearing this, Daniel smirked, seemingly victorious. That's right. You should understand that my word is law. Seeing me still not trying to move, Daniel started to lose his patience. Hey, how long are you going to keep lying around? Start getting ready to leave. Just as Daniel tried to forcibly get me up, the doctor entered the room. What on earth do you think you're doing? I was just about to take her home. Upon hearing Daniel's response, the doctor became livid. What nonsense! There's a thorough examination scheduled for tomorrow, so she's not allowed to leave. Hearing this, Daniel scoffed at me. If there's an examination, then I'll wait 2 or 3 days. I'll stay at my parents' house in the meantime, so make sure you're home by then. As Daniel left the room, I watched him go with a cold gaze. Then I called my lawyer. I didn't have a single shred of affection left for him. Hello, I would like to proceed with that matter. From the hospital bed, I continued making a few more phone calls, steadily preparing. 3 days later, Daniel called my cell. Lisa, why the hell aren't you home yet? Are you back home from your parents' house? At my next question, he grumbled. Yeah, I am. The examination's over, isn't it? Then stop lounging around and get back to the chores that have piled up. Daniel didn't even bother to ask me about the medical test results. He doesn't seem to care about his wife's health one bit. My decision was definitely the right one. Daniel, you've been staying at your parents' place all this time, right? I asked him calmly. I told you already, didn't I? So what? Did you happen to check the mail sent to your parents' house? Mail? What on earth did you send? Divorce papers. In fact, I had a lawyer send the divorce papers, already signed by me, to Daniel's parents' house. Divorce papers? Why are you surprised? You were the one who said let's get a divorce, weren't you? With that, Daniel sighed as if mocking me. I never thought you were that stupid. Do you think you can live on your own after divorcing me, who provides for you? I can't start doing house chores right after the accident. I need to take better care of my health. That's why I decided to divorce you."
"You think you can make a living after divorcing me? You rushed into this decision."
Daniel laughed out loud and then hung up the phone. But Daniel didn't know what he would face next. The next day, his parents rushed to the hospital in a panic.
"Lisa, our son has done a terrible thing."
The moment they entered my hospital room, my in-laws bowed their heads in apology. I calmly addressed them. "No, it's not your fault."
"You're right. The person who needs to apologize is Daniel himself."
My father-in-law immediately called Daniel.
"Daniel, come to the hospital immediately."
He didn't understand what was going on, but hearing his father being so serious, he arrived in my room within minutes.
"Dad, what's going on? Why'd you call me here?"
Daniel complained, only to be berated by his father on the spot.
"Don't be stupid. You caused a mess. Apologize to Lisa right now." "What? What are you talking about?"
My father-in-law, holding out the envelope I had sent to Daniel's parents, retorted,
"This letter, which was delivered to our house."
Hearing this, Daniel began to laugh with an air of confidence.
"Oh, the divorce papers. Lisa went and took my threat to divorce seriously and sent me the papers. She wouldn't be able to live without me, yet she's acting so foolishly. The problem is this document here."
My father-in-law took out a bill for consolation money from the envelope. Upon seeing it, Daniel's face turned pale.
"What? Consolation money? Lisa was the one who sent me the divorce papers. Why should I be the one to pay consolation money? She abandoned her duties as a wife, checks herself into a hospital, and I'm the one who owes consolation money? Enough with all this."
With suppressed anger, my father-in-law pulled out photographs and a report from the envelope.
"These are the evidence of your cheating, and here's the investigator's report. Looking at these, there's no doubt you're in the wrong. I can't believe what you've done."
Seeing the photos and the report, Daniel, pale-faced, asked me,
"Lisa, when did you manage to get all this?"
That's right. I had started to suspect Daniel's cheating when he began coming home late. Claiming it was for work, he would come home every night with the scent of women's perfume. At first, I thought he was just drinking at places frequented by women. But when I sneakily checked his credit card statement, I found that he was going to trendy restaurants featured in the media, and even buying popular brands of products loved by young women. It was obvious he was spending it on dates with another woman. It was clearly cheating. Perhaps thinking I hadn't noticed, he slowly began increasing the frequency of his affairs. He seemed to be finding opportunities in between his outdoor work hours, even during weekdays. The detailed checks on my daytime activities were also so he could avoid running into me at his meeting locations with another woman. Still, I believed that he would return to me someday. However, Daniel trampled all over these feelings of mine, not showing a shred of concern for me after the accident, treating me like a maid. At that moment, I decided to exact my revenge on him. As soon as Daniel left the hospital room, I contacted my lawyer. I asked him to send the signed divorce papers and the bill for consolation money, which I had prepared in advance, to Daniel's parents' house. Knowing him, he's probably spending time with his mistress instead of going home to his family. My guess was spot on. Unlike my husband, my in-laws are upright people. They'd never approve of their son's cheating. Sure enough, upon receiving my letter, my father-in-law and his wife were quick to rush to my hospital room. Having learned everything, Daniel stated in a daze,
"So, Lisa, you knew about my cheating all along?"
"Yes, of course." I looked at my husband with icy eyes. "If you are coming home smelling like women's perfume, lavish your mistress with your credit card, it's so obvious it would be strange if I didn't notice. Plus, all your phone notifications were visible to me, so I knew exactly when and where you were meeting your mistress. Thanks to that, it was easy to gather evidence."
I'm sorry. I was just tempted. I wasn't serious about the divorce. I thought you would come back home right away."
Even if you weren't serious, I am. I don't want to continue a marriage with a husband who doesn't even worry when his wife has an accident and tries to make her do household chores. You were having fun with your mistress while I was hospitalized, weren't you?
"Hold on. Calm down. You're a housewife, right?" You wouldn't be able to make a living if you left me. Don't be stubborn, just let the past be water under the bridge.
Excuse me? There's no way I can just let it slide. And I became a housewife because you wanted me to. If I get divorced, I'll start working right away. I won't rely on you anymore.
Start working right away? How long do you think it's been since you quit your job? Your previous company has definitely found your replacement by now.
Do you think I've just been doing housework for these past years? I've been continuously studying business in my spare time. I've got a few ideas piled up, so I could probably propose several projects now.
It's not that easy. The economy is down everywhere. Even I, who's been working all the while, can't get a promotion easily.
Isn't that because you're incompetent at work? A person who dates their mistress while outdoor work hours? I think the problem is more than just being capable or not.
What? What would you know?
I think I know more than you do. In fact, when I approached my former company, they said they wanted me to come back under the same conditions as before.
The same conditions? You'd be earning more than me.
Yes, indeed. It was all for nothing, even though you were the one who encouraged me to become a housewife and quit my job. If you didn't want to be overtaken by your wife's salary, maybe you should have tried harder instead of pulling me down.
Hold on, if that's the case, you don't need the consolation money, right? Please withdraw your consolation money claim.
Excuse me? There's no way I'm withdrawing it. This consolation money is to make up for the crime you committed. You can't just cheat on your wife and ignore her without facing any penalties.
I'm sorry. I really regret it. Please forgive me.
I will never forgive you. It's not enough to just say you're sorry. You need to show it with your actions. Go to hell. Daniel was unconvinced, but in the end, my in-laws stood up for me and he finally agreed to the divorce and the payment of consolation money. After paying the consolation money, Daniel seemed to have continued his relationship with his mistress without learning his lesson. However, it seems his company found out about his frequent dating during outdoor work hours, and he ended up getting demoted and having his salary cut. To top it all off, it seems that Daniel, who had almost run out of savings due to his consolation money payment, was promptly dumped by his girlfriend. News about the cause of his divorce and his demotion spread throughout the company, and I heard that he completely lost his place there. On the other hand, I was able to be discharged from the hospital safely without any after effects from the accident. I used the consolation money I received to move, and now I'm leisurely settling into my new home. My work after returning is going smoothly, and life has been going better since the divorce. That accident may have been a good catalyst for the divorce. I decided not to look back at the past and strive forward to a new life.